Well, Scottie does it again. Let's get right into it. Welcome to the Tavern. Yeah. I think he's back to form. He fell off a little bit last year, but he also was named Ryder Cup captain. Give me Team Bradley. Oh! Well, I mean, I didn't think I needed much of an intro here because Scottie is just doing Scottie things.
I was going to say, that might be the shortest intro you've ever done, Greg.
I did that way on purpose because we are just witnessing history. We need that sign for you. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. Just saying.
You just need to hold that up to remind yourself.
I know we're going to get into it later, but Steve, this was kind of a birdie fest. Does that make you feel unqualified because this was an open championship and, you know, Scottie's running away with things like that? Or would you prefer something more like the U.S. Open?
We'll get into that.
Yeah, I think you asked that question in a little bit. So, but it's
preface of things to come.
An exciting week. Dave, how was your week?
Busy week. It was the county fair week for us here. So I spent most of my time in the show ring announcing. So that was pretty good. Big shout out to Golfish. The polos got a lot of compliments while I was out there. I'll have some of those photos coming up in a little bit, but thanks to Golfish, they blended right in. So golf to marina to 4-H show ring?
Apparently.
Yeah.
Not sure that's their forte, but.
No, but tomorrow morning, Will's got his youth club championship tomorrow morning. So,
nice.
We're looking forward to him teeing off a little bit after 8 a.m. Central Time.
Let's hope that he finishes better than Charlie Woods finished at the USGA Juniors.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully. I mean, my weekend, I was privy to WNBA All-Star Weekend, which I will say Indianapolis, the Pacers Sports and Entertainment team put on an amazing show here in downtown Indianapolis. It was a lot of fun, except the All-Star games, I will say, have gotten boring. They need to get back to the 90s and play defense. You don't need to play defense where you're getting hurt, but actually play the game and make it exciting, not just chucking up threes from anywhere on the court, or in this case, fours. I will say I did like some of the rules that the WNBA had for this with the 4-point shots, but that's all they wanted to shoot. They also did hockey-style substitutions, which was kind of cool to see. The skills competition was cool. The things that they have on Georgia Street, all here throughout Indianapolis, were amazing. So had a fun little weekend here in Indianapolis. And
so, Greg B and I've been there in downtown with you. Anybody do any special food for the All-Star game down there?
So I don't know if anyone did any special food. Some, like the Cunningham group, did it. Like they had a little pop-up restaurant on the street there. They had good quesadillas and some stuff out there. There was a lot of different. And the Nike had this little area set up. The Georgia Street, like I said, had some stuff set up, and then the convention center had the WNBA center. There was Fever Fest with Cedric the Entertainer, Leslie Jones doing stand-up comedy. So there was just a bunch of fun stuff here. I didn't really notice a lot of the food changes here that weekend, but just
because you never know what's going to pop up for an All-Star game coming into town.
No, it was good. Good Morning America broadcast from outside the field house here. Just a lot of fun, and that team, everyone put on a great show, and now we're back into the WNBA regular season. So then without Caitlin Clark still.
Yeah.
Kind of a downer to not have her play this weekend.
For the All-Star game. Yeah,
Yeah.
I get that, being at home, and not that, us being nice Midwest people here, we wanted to see her play and do well, but I think your week and my week kind of paled in comparison to Steve's week.
Yeah, and let's get into first round, and we can have Steve kind of talk about where he was this week. And if you don't know, he's giving you some sort of
wearing the hat.
Oh, hey.
Ready to take your game to the next level? Desert Fox Golf's collegiate gear is growing fast, with over 25 universities and counting. Show off your favorite team on the course with the Phone Caddy and DJ10 speaker, built for easy access for every round. Perfect for students, alumni, and college sports fans looking to show off their school spirit. Gear up today at desertfoxgolf.com.
It always makes me feel better when we go to an outro and it cuts Steve off.
I know. You do it on purpose.
First of all, if you don't have a Desert Fox phone caddy and or speaker, what are you waiting for? And why don't you yet?
Get that pairing today.
Yes.
Hey, and you can even get it. Get your logo on it too.
You can. Hey guys, I don't know if you saw this today.
There's a QR code if you scan it right there.
I want to give a quick shout out to friend of the show really quick before we get started. Our friends at Popticals, Gary and Dana, their son was in a really bad car accident and was released from the hospital today. So I do want to give them a quick shout out, let them know we're thinking about them, and hoping for a speedy recovery. So I do want to get that out there. So the Open.
What was it like? No, hold on. Let me ask you this question first. I'm going to ask you. Let's just ask you some questions here. First off, you went over to Ireland for the first time.
Yep.
And two things happened. Okay.
More than two things happened, but okay.
No, these are two things that we are a tavern here, so I'm going on the drinking route with these two questions.
Okay. All right. There we go.
First things, you went over there, and Dave and I, we love Guinness. We've always loved Guinness. That's how Dave and I bonded as friends for the first time, is I asked for a Guinness on the golf course, and Dave said, "You're my new best friend." That is a true story. So we have always
after somebody Guinness. Else asked for a Smirnoff Ice.
Shout out to Bob for that one. Still friends with Bob, so Bob's good people. But you have never been a fan of Guinness. But as I said, as you were going over there, I said, Guinness tastes just a little bit better. It's homeland.
Yes.
So what was that experience like, your first Guinness in Ireland?
So my first Guinness in Ireland was at St. James's Gate.
And if you don't know what that is the founding place, the home, the birthplace of Guinness. Also, Guinness, we're looking for a sponsorship for if you want to.
Yeah, I mean, I'm down. I mean, I have a new glass that has the Golfing Nuts Tavern on it.
Which you can't see while it's got Guinness.
You can't see while it's in there, but no.
So how was that first sip of true Guinness?
Amazing.
Did you hear the heart play when it touched?
So we had a rule, and the rule was we couldn't have a Guinness until we got to St. James Gate. And your first Guinness while we were there had to be at the rooftop bar. So,
which is an amazing place. 360 view of Dublin. It's unbelievable.
Yes, and
two of us have been there.
They do a really good job with markers on the windows of like what you're looking at there and things like that. And the people there behind the bar are absolutely incredible. The bartenders there are great. I've got a cool video we're going to put up probably this week on the proper way to pour a pint. I asked one of the bartenders there.
It takes time.
It takes time. Be patient. Be patient with greatness. So we had lunch at the Brazen Head, which there's a plaque on the wall that says that it has been a pub since 1201. And we ate in the original room in the Brazen Head, which was absolutely incredible. The history in that room is unbelievable. And then we got our tickets for the Guinness tour. And then we went over to the Temple Bar and went to the Temple Bar. Now, leading up to there, I drank Harp, which is another Irish beer. And then we got to Guinness and we did the tour. And at one point, as you're walking through the tour at Guinness, there are some cool parts of it, I'll be honest with you. Like, to see this oversized barrel that they have that goes up the stairs, it's great. You walk through this room, and I jokingly said, for those of us in our former life, you walk through this room, and it's a row on either side of you of barley that they're growing in there, that they've taken from their fields and planted in there. And I jokingly said, God, I feel like I'm in the land boat ride at Epcot.
Well, I've always said that tour at Guinness is like if Disney ran a brewery, the whole thing.
Correct. And then you walk through there, and then you get to this cool wall of water. And as you stand there and watch the water, they've got it controlled so that as the water falls, they do a show where you see like pint glasses of Guinness. And you see the Guinness logo and different things happening. And so it's really cool to see. That was probably like, I was like, man, that was awesome. And you finally get up to the rooftop.
There's your correct way to pour, by the way.
Yes.
You let it activate.
So
you get up to the rooftop,
go to the bar, and there's 6 of us there.
Which I will say, if you haven't been to this bar is and if it's still the same way, it's a circular bar in the center.
It's 2 circles now, so it's like an 8.
Yeah.
So they've
And then outside is just a glass window that you're in a pint of Guinness.
Yes. And it was absolutely incredible. The atmosphere was amazing. Everybody there was cool. The drinks were good and cold and very tasteful. And that started me down a road of a week of Guinness.
The Guinness diet.
You just then drank Guinness the whole time.
The only day I didn't was the next day because I don't like mixing and going back and forth. And we started our morning at Jameson before we headed to...
That brings me to my second question here. I didn't know this about you. I knew about the Guinness. I knew you weren't a fan of Guinness because you have terrible taste. But Dave and I have always said that your beer taste is Sam Adams. But but now you are in the Guinness family with us and have finally come around to the dark side, I will say.
Yes.
So with that, what I didn't know that you had never had, because I know you drink bourbon.
Correct.
You have never had Jameson.
Correct.
One of my go-to staples, one of my like everyday drinker drinks.
Yes.
You have never had.
I had never had Jameson. That I can say is no more.
Now you went there. Now you've learned that they know how to drink in Ireland.
Oh, they know how to drink in Ireland. We will get to in this week and next week. This week we're going to cover the Open. Next week we're going to cover some other stuff from my trip to Ireland. But I did drink some Jameson on that Sunday. We did the Jameson tour, and then we drove up and played golf. And I had a couple more Jameson there, and then we ended up at a establishment. It's amazing to me how, like 8:30, 9 o'clock, even though the sun's still up there, the world shuts down there, and you're like, can't get anything to eat anywhere. The bars are all open, but you can't get anything to eat. Like, so
I did places.
Yeah, no, not in the pubs. We went to this walk-in Turkish place and got some dinner and took it to the pub. They'll let you bring it in. But we, it was awesome. The whole week was unbelievable. And there's a lot to talk about at Portrush and Royal Portrush.
And we'll get into
golf
that
course. That golf course is absolutely unbelievable. They did have, funny enough, I felt like I was at Disney World. You could get churros there on the golf course. I was like, wow, okay, cool. Do you have churro holders?
Well choice, Cotton.
Yeah, I did not partake in one of those. But they also, you could have a proper pint of Guinness on the golf course at the Open.
Oh yes, a proper pint
Yes.
of Guinness is the way to go.
It is.
Dave and I
it
have been
is the way.
drinking proper pints
It
of
was
Guinness
the way to go.
since for years
It
now.
was the way to go.
So let me ask you this question: What
Yeah.
of Jameson versus Guinness?
Yep.
Since you really haven't been a fan of either, what are you more a fan of now? Are you more a fan of Jameson or are you more a fan of Guinness? I'm not saying you're picking like your favorite child here, but what would be your go-to drink of the two if you had to choose between the two of them?
Man, that's a good question. I will tell you that you guys know how much I enjoy the beverage made with barley, hops, yeast, and water, right? And you know my go-tos with that. I will tell you that I've probably got a new go-to with that.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Fancy.
Good choice. Well, cheers to that.
Cheers to that. Let's get into that. Do you want to talk about the golf course? Do you want to talk about the atmosphere? I know we got to get into covering the Open and happy hour.
Let's go into covering the Open and happy hour. And at the beginning of that, I'm going to ask you some questions about your experience going to it. So,
okay, that's fine. That's fine.
All right.
Let's just hop into that. Yeah.
So first off, Open, unbelievable. Steve, you were there.
Yep.
Dave and I will ask you some questions. You can be our makeshift guest this week since you were actually at the Open this week.
Yep.
So I'll start off with, what was your first thing when you got to the Open? You've been to the Masters before, obviously, so you've been to a major before. This is the oldest major. So how did you, when you got there, and compare it to when we all went to the Masters a few years ago, and condolences to everyone who did not get Masters tickets for 2025, and congratulations to our friend Steve Cox on actually getting them. Dave and I, we know what that feeling is like. So
Steve doesn't.
No, but
Steve knows though that he's going next year. So thanks, Steve.
Yeah, but you have to rely on others. So with that, compare it to like going to the Masters and going to this historic major event. What was your first impressions that you saw when you got at Portrush?
So we had played golf on Tuesday morning. We went to play golf. We weren't going to go to Portrush, and we were going to go play, and we're going to do an interview next week with them. We played a place called Carindou, and the golf course that night, it had rained and the cloud cover had come in, and Carindou's right on the water. So the cloud cover had come in and sat over the golf course, and you couldn't see the golf course. So we were like, well, the guy at the shop was like, why don't you come back tomorrow? I'll just get you out. Just come back early tomorrow. I'll get you guys out. I'm like, great, let's do that. And so we did that. And on the way up, we stopped at the Dark Hedges and then went in and had to find parking. We didn't know where I will say this. They did a terrible job with directions towards parking lots. And then on Tuesday when we got there, they did a terrible job, and I posted it online, of getting out of the parking lot and onto the bus. And so we were like, and all of a sudden, you finally get on the bus, and you come around this corner, and you're in the bus, and you're like, and you come around this corner, you don't know what to expect. And all of a sudden you see it, and you're up above looking across the entire golf course with the grandstands and all the people on it. And everyone had the same reaction. The reaction was, wow, it looked amazing. So we get there, and we have really an extra day at the Open now because we were going to go Wednesday anyway. We're going to go Wednesday afternoon. So the plan was, let's walk the front nine on Tuesday. We'll walk the back nine Wednesday. And then Thursday, We'll have seen the whole golf course. We'll pick and choose. We'll go to spots. We'll watch some golf. And then we kind of wanted to just sit in the grandstand on 18 and watch golf. So we walk the front 9 and we meet up with, there's 6 of us total. So 4 guys were already there. We meet up with them and we're standing left of 4 green. And 4 was a 504-yard par 4. Huge mounding in front of the greens. Really difficult hole. And we're standing there and you can't really see. We're kind of sitting in a lull. And you can't see really what's going on past that. And I walked up. You're going to think I'm crazy when I tell you this. I haven't told either of you this.
We think
I walk up to the top.
Anyways, what's that going to change?
So I walk up to the top of the hill past. There's a scoreboard left of 4 green. And I walk up past the scoreboard and I look out. And you can see down to 5 and across to 7. So 5 green, 6 tee, and 6 is a short par 3. And then 7's the par 5 along the ocean there, along the Irish Sea. And I literally looked at the guys. I'm like, you guys need to come see this. And we're looking down 5, and 5 happened to be, it's 380, dogleg right, and depending on the direction of the wind, it's drivable, as we saw during the week. Ben On chipped in for eagle on Sunday, short of that green, and you can just knock it on the deck depending on the wind. And we're sitting there, and I'm literally thinking, this hole and its pure greatness. There's only one hole to me that's as great as this hole, and it's 12 at Augusta, which I still think is the greatest design golf hole in the history of golf. And that's where I would put the 5th hole. And it's funny because the PGA Tour did a thing, and I don't know if it was the Open of the PGA Tour, it was one of them on TikTok or Instagram, where they asked a bunch of the players, what's your favorite hole out here? And all but one of them said 5. And it's absolutely incredible. And you get down there, middle of the fairway, and you kind of look out, and the green just kind of looks like it's like the only thing I could compare it to is like an infinity pool where it just kind of goes out into the ocean. And that's how it looked. And as you're looking that direction, you look down, you can see the cliffs, and it looks down towards where Giants Causeway is. And then you get to 6. And I'll be honest with you, 5, 6, and 7, to me, could rival Amen Corner as far as a great 3-hole stretch. Like, wow. It was that good. 7 was awesome. Like, to stand on 7 and just look at the mounding on the right, and you have the beach and the sea to your right, and Scotland after that. Like, literally, it goes mounding, beach, Scotland. And you're sitting there, and it's just this kind of uphill par 5 that kind of lazily goes up the hill. Massive bunker on the right. If you're in that bunker, you're dead. And I'm literally looking, going, I can't believe you wouldn't want this stretch on the back 9 on Sunday. Like, that's how good this stretch of golf is. Like, I don't understand why this is on the front 9. But the way the routing of the golf course is, it makes a lot of sense once you figure out, because it's not your typical link style course and then it goes out and back. It kind of goes out and it kind of meanders around itself through the middle. It's just kind of weirdly laid out for what you would think would be a seaside links golf course. So we walked the front 9, and then we got up and played the next day, and then went back out there, and we walked the back 9, and we finally got to 16, which is Calamity Corner, the 230-yard par 3. And it was funny. We were standing there on 15 green. We hadn't gotten,
which was almost renamed this week.
Yeah.
Right. Scottie's bitch. I mean,
did you hear the announcement when Scottie was going for his 4th birdie in a row on 16, and he just missed it? They were they thought about renaming it.
And we were walking. My buddy Eddie and I were walking with a guy from Australia who was there, and we're just chit-chatting back and forth. And we walk up, and Bryson is coming at 15 in a practice round, playing by himself in a practice round. I'll leave that for another comment from another day. And we go over to 16, and you can stand there on 16T and just watch. And literally, right is dead on 16. Like, you are dead on arrival on if you're right. There's the swale to the left of the green. You can kind of putt or chip or do whatever you want to out of there. But that hole from the tee box is very intimidating. I'm not a huge fan of a long par 3, but I think it fits in there, especially with the way the typical wind comes on that hole. Like, I really feel like that hole fits in perfectly there.
Well, and you experienced this yourself, that because you told me link style golf over there, because this is your first time playing it, is completely different. Like you can't go over there and just
Correct.
think, oh, it's a golf course. You got to
No.
play it differently, and you've seen that in the Open,
Yeah.
so that makes sense.
And then you get to 17, and 17 becomes drivable because it's, I mean, the fairway goes downhill. It looks like you're going down, you're strapping some skis on and going down a mountain up north from the top of the fairway down to the green. And then you get to 18, and 18 is such a cool golf hole. If you're left, forget about it. Like you can't do much left of that green. It's just, you take an 8-iron out, take a gap wedge out, bump it into the hill and let it trundle out. I watched Davis Riley there on Thursday. We were sitting there watching, and Davis came up, and he was about 40 yards short. He had to lay up, and it was about 40 yards short. And the flag was left, like kind of middle left. And there was a mound just short of the flag, and he hit a good shot up there, but he couldn't fire it at the flag. He had to play 15 feet right of the hole, because if you went at the flag and you miss by 6 inches, you're down in that swell and you're chipping back up. And it's just such a good designed hole in that you get into these little areas and around the golf course where you've got to hit a shot and there's very little room for error. And it's really fun to see and watch tour players actually have to think about, okay, 15 feet right might actually be a really good shot here, because I can't go at it, because if I miss, I'm dead. And I'm only playing from 30 yards.
So let's get into that. That's a good segue into what we saw this week at the Open. So we all watched. We saw. I think it was a fun Open to watch. There was a lot of things that went on this week. You had drama that went on with different things. You had some interesting shots that happened out there.
Yep.
And
you had
kind of
2 balls pop out at once.
I have written down here the first note I have written down on my page is the hidden ball trick by Rory.
Yeah, that was pretty impressive.
I mean, that was really cool to see, and it was also cool to see Rory kind of not get pissed off about it. Like he kind of thought it was funny, and it didn't really mess his shot up too much. So with that, I'm going to ask, because Steve, we've been talking to you a lot here, so I'm going to ask Dave. I'm going to ask you this question: what was one thing that stood out for you this week at this Open?
I think for me, it was the play of the Americans. There on the link style golf, whether it's Scottie, Harris English, Bryson minus Thursday played the best golf out of anybody there. Ricky Fowler,
Ricky made the most birdies last week.
Yeah. So I think from an American standpoint, and I know the Ryder Cup's on our home turf this year, but I think they're Ricky's getting up there a little bit. Scottie's 29. Next time it comes back there, he's 31, 32. But just the American style of play in I lost my screen there.
You're still going good.
Yeah. Just how well they all played, in the link style. The weather was a slight factor, but it wasn't 100% factor this week like it has been in the past.
And that was the big thing I thought I saw this week, that the weather did not play a factor this week at all.
And typically at the Open, because of the weather, you can get that there's a good draw and a bad draw. Now, granted, Thursday, I'll be honest with you, sitting in the grandstand on Thursday with my umbrella over my head and my rain gear on, it was miserable. So those guys who were on the golf course had a miserable experience of it. And if you could figure out how to survive, you'd be fine. I think that I was surprised because the original forecast on Thursday showed rain all weekend. Like it was supposed to be 4 days of rain. And so when you get out there and you have these guys just playing some golf, and the rain didn't seem to bother them as much as I thought it would on Thursday.
So another thing, I mean, Dave, you talked about this with the Americans. 8 out of the top 10 positions, 8 of them were Americans in there with the ties. There was 13 of them that were in the top 10 with ties.
The other being like Fitzpatrick and Rory.
Fitzpatrick, Lee, Rory, and Connors were the only non-Americans in there. Yeah. And McIntyre.
Yeah.
But with that, I think we saw some great play from some of the Americans out there with Bryson's comeback from a terrible day one. We had Goddard, who is third place by himself here, had an amazing 2 weeks over
playing the
over
Bridgestone Mindset golf ball that we all play.
Yes, exactly.
Yes.
So that Bridgestone Mindset is a game changer out there. So make sure you pick up a dozen or so. But Xander playing well again. I saw out there. I feel like
finally healthy.
Yeah, I feel the Americans are kind of turning it on. I feel people were kind of turning it around. Ricky Fowler is up there. Some of these people that we've been kind of waiting to see get their game back together. Over the past few weeks, we've started to see that, which has been pretty nice. Mm-hmm. So,
hey, I got to give a quick shout out. Bogey Works Golf is watching and commenting on Instagram. So, what's going on, dude? And he's got some good comments here. Scottie's playing on a different level. Lucky to see Scottie play, and glad Bryson's going to be on the Ryder Cup team. So let me ask you this. Thanks for tuning in tonight.
With everything that goes on, I'm going back to something that has happened a few times over the years. Kind of went away for a while, but it happened again this week, and it's something I don't like when it happens this way. Someone was assessed, and his name is Shane Lowry, the defending champ of this course for the Open, was assessed a 2-stroke penalty for something that they saw on TV.
With a slow motion replay.
No,
after they saw it, they went to a slow motion replay.
They went to a slow motion replay.
I was sitting at the airport in Minneapolis. Dave, you've been to the Minneapolis airport. There's a Mexican taco place there.
Yep. Really? You're picking a big airport and you're just thinking, Mexican taco place?
No, Dave knows what I'm talking about. I was sitting there watching the coverage, and I watched it happen live, and I watched the ball roll live as it happened, and I said, that's a penalty. It's literally, and I'm going to say this, it's the same penalty. The ball was here.
Oh, you're going with Juna? But here's my problem with it. They did not catch it live. They caught it on the replay, and they went.
I watched it live and said it happened. Here's the problem, though. If you watched it live, the TV commentators even said that ball moved.
So, but my point
he had put his club behind the ball, pulled it back, and swung it next to it. So he's addressed.
But I think the point we're making is this is a replay assisted review of a ball that. In a sport that does not have replay assisted.
No, they don't. They don't look at everybody. They don't go back and look at everyone. If they did, you'd catch this all the time.
Correct. No, you're right.
But that's where I have a problem with it. Is that if you're not going to do this for everyone, so if you went back and you reviewed stuff and you said, "Hey, we reviewed all of this stuff,"
it's amazing this didn't happen more in the Tiger era with Tiger.
But it did. Tiger had the worst one ever at the Masters.
He had the Masters. He had the dude
call it in. Like a fan from home called the penalty.
Yeah, it's like club testing, and it is very subjective. On you could go out. We've watched guys, make a final round. We've all seen the speed golf that a guy played because he had to catch a flight, and they got to 18, and there was no TV cameras even set up and ready to go because he and his caddy sprinted the whole course. Who's to say that, he did anything? So why are we subjecting marquee groups to replay review when the three of us could go out there and be a playing group out there behind somebody else? And who's going to care about three guys from the Tavern?
And the interpretation of the rule is you have to see it. And Shane didn't witness. He might have, but that's also.
Here's my thing, and I'm going to say it this way. Did the ball move from here to here? It did. Okay? It did. The problem that I have with it is you get in that fescue grass, right?
Mm-hmm.
The problem that I have with it is the rule.
I have a problem with the rule.
I have a problem with the rule. I don't have was the rule enforced as it should be? Yes.
No,
I think it was. I do.
No.
Because I watched it live, not zoomed in. I watched it happen full speed live, and I said that ball moved.
But here's the thing. when the ball moves, the way the rule is interpreted is you have to see it and call it. So someone has to be there live to see it happen. So if Shane puts his club down and is looking at the target and doesn't see that ball move and then goes back to address it again, you have to call that on yourself. That's what this game is about, and it's integrity.
I agree with you,
and I get.
However, if you're taking a practice swing like he was doing, and he put the club behind the ball, and then pulled it back, and then swung it in the grass next to it, who's to say he's not looking at the flag as he's making that move, trying to feel the shot he wants to hit?
I'm not saying that he did, but what I'm saying is we're looking at it from a video standpoint behind the ball, and you see it move. That's not fair to if all three of us are playing in a tournament.
I completely
agree. It should
agree
not be on a video there.
I
and that's how the rule's written.
Right. But here's the other problem. And I will give Shane credit because he said it without saying it. I'm going to accept the penalty because if I don't, it's going to look bad. And all of a sudden, if he doesn't and he puts up a fight, he's now Patrick Reed.
I agree, and I think Shane handled it beautifully. I'm not blaming Shane for anything here. I just think Shane got a raw deal for that because you were 2 under at the time, which at that time was at a good spot. You fall back to even after this penalty, so that changes your mentality and where you're at. And in this, it affects your tournament there, and it's only because someone caught it on TV, and that's where the problem is.
Understanding do they need to take a long, hard look at the rule there? I mean, I don't want to get on my soapbox on the rules of golf between the RMA and the USGA. That's a whole nother soapbox that I don't want to get on. But I do think that the aspect of the way the rule is written right now, did the ball move? Yes. Is it a penalty? Yes. Unfortunately, it is. And I agree or disagree. It is what it is, and at this point, you have to, like he did, accept and move on. Thank you, Bogey Works Golf, for that. Accept and move on. But I think that I will say this about Shane. Coming back where somebody painted a mural on the side of his house with your face on it holding the jug. And when you look at what Shane did, and I can tell you, I was sitting in the grandstands. I was sitting in 18 grandstand on Thursday. He played with Scottie the first 2 days, right? So obviously there's a massive following around those two groups. And we went up, and there was nobody in the grandstands early. We went and sat there for quite a while and just watched groups come up into 18. And Shane and Scottie come up, and Colin's the fourth one in the group, and Colin had to lay up and hit a third shot in before he got on the green. Two groups ahead of that, the grandstands, all of a sudden you looked around and they were all full. And as Shane came up, and they don't announce the players coming to 18 like they do, let's say at Bay Hill or anything like that, the players just come up, it is what it is. Shane got a standing ovation walking up to the 18th green.
Yeah, as he should.
Yeah.
And
so
Scottie kind of stopped. Scottie stepped back and gave him his moment too. Like, I will give Scottie a ton of credit. The dude is there to support. I mean, his interactions with Haitong Lee on Sunday were fun to watch. Like, you could see that those guys were out there having fun. Haitong knew he had no chance. Everybody knew they had no chance. It was Scottie's to lose, and Scottie wasn't going to lose. But Scottie gets it. And
Scottie's just a good guy. That's what Scottie is. Like, that's what we see on the golf course.
And I think there's going to be as people start talking about this run that Scottie's on right now, the difference between Scottie and Tiger, because the comparison is eventually going to come up.
Yep.
We don't need that. Scottie doesn't have, then people are going to say it doesn't have that Tiger killer instinct. Scottie doesn't need it.
And that's the key there. He doesn't.
He
naturally does it.
He's built differently than Tiger. He's out there. For him, his life isn't about golf. He just happens to be really damn good at it right now.
So let's talk about that comment, Dave, that Scottie said last week, where it was basically, it's great when I win for about 5 minutes, and then it's on to the next. Basically, is what he said.
The
And
Belichick.
yeah, he basically Bill Belichick.
Belichick. 100% Belichick that.
And I was like, what did he just say? Like,
but here's the thing. He's playing a game we all love. We're sitting here talking about it. We've run a podcast about this now for 3 years. He's playing a game we all love. He understands the most important moment in his life after Sunday is when Bennett and his wife came running onto the green with his parents, and that's when that moment sunk in for him.
Bennett is, I will say, Bennett is the storyline of the year at these majors. This little guy.
It happened again.
Like, the picture of him, like, we do this every Sunday.
Yeah,
like,
but
his
for Scottie,
perfect golfing.
I think Scottie is just so grounded in his life and being a dad and being a husband. He just happens to be really great at the game of golf, but it's not his whole personality.
Well, I think the difference. I think that he needs to his mental game that I think Ted's that his caddy has really helped him with too is he knows that there's bigger issues and stuff. I'm playing golf. I'm having fun. I'm enjoying it. One of his comments from the first round of the PGA Championship, where everyone was complaining about mud balls, was, I got some mud on my ball, and you know what? I could lose 2 strokes on this one hole and move on, clean my ball, and forget about it. Or I could just let this ruin like 15 strokes the rest of the round because I'm so upset about it. He lets things go. He knows that, hey, I'm going to have a bad day. Like when he was at the Scottish Open and he throws his hands up at the putt. He went on and played golf great after that. He just he lives in that moment and then he moves on. And that mental game is what a lot of people, even us, need to get better at.
I think the thing that Scottie does, Tiger had the ability to scare people on a leaderboard. Scottie doesn't scare anybody. No, I don't know. No. Here's the thing. Scottie gets out in front and goes. Like, he ho-hums you with a 68 on Thursday. He'll play great on Friday, post a good number on Friday, post a good number on Saturday, and then all of a sudden, he's got a 5-shot lead. He doesn't have to worry about it. And
that's my point. He scares you in a different way than Tiger did.
Correct.
Yeah. Tiger could be anywhere on the board, and you were afraid of him. Scottie's ahead of you, and you know you're not catching him. That's the difference.
You think back to 2019 and Tiger at Augusta. And the collapse, and there are a lot of things that went into the collapse. The shots into 12 that those guys hit in the pond. I just think that Scottie just doesn't make any mistakes, and that's the biggest difference. Mm-hmm. Like, there's no mistake. Scottie Scheffler plays golf like we all want to play golf. He doesn't make a mistake. He hits it.
That's what everyone sees, and that's the fear.
He makes a bunch of putts now. I mean, if you think about it, the worst part of his game is his bunker play.
It used to be his putting.
It did.
He has fixed that and really done a lot of work with that. Now his putting, when his putting's on, they fear him. They know once he starts creeping up that leaderboard and getting there, and he has a lead going into Sunday, you're like, all right, we're playing for second at that point. Correct. And that's the difference between the fear. They fear him the way they feared Tiger, but Tiger was Tiger's lurking. I got to be worried. Yeah. With Scottie, Scottie's in the lead. So I'm just playing for second at this point. Like, it's that mental game.
Oh, it's a 4 under. Oh, it's a 3 under. Oh, it's a 4 under. Oh, Scottie's at 11 under. How did that happen? And he just quietly
have the bad round.
No,
yeah, it is. Tiger did,
and I think
have a bad round.
Part of that is just with Tiger. It was, the swing, the crack of the ball, the torque, the everything else that went into late 90s, early 2000. Tiger, where Scottie's just like, oh, I swung the golf club and the ball went 350 yards.
I will say, Nike, I'm going to give you some free publicity right here for what you need to do. You had an old ad campaign. It's got to be the shoes. With the way Scottie's feet move, and he is Nike, you got to go back to that because it's got to be the shoes. With the way he swings and the way that he goes, you're going to sell a lot with that way.
Yeah.
Bogey works, you're right. Tiger could scramble because he had to a lot.
Yep.
Scottie doesn't ever have to.
No.
He hits the right shot.
Scottie, what was amazing to watch Scottie, and even listening to the announcers this week, was Scottie's got a 40-footer for par. He sunk it. Like, it was, he got himself in trouble, but got himself out of it. His only time on Sunday was that double bogey that he hit on, what was it, 7?
He even admitted that was his fault because he was dumb.
It was
that ball should have been played out sideways.
He made a mistake there. He tried to go for something and it didn't work out. But then he comes back and birdies the next hole and gets right back into it.
And with a 5-shot lead, does it matter that you went for it there?
No.
But before we move off of Royal Portrush here and move on to next week, I got one last question for you about being out there. Yep. We got a picture of you in the stands by yourself with the iconic scoreboard back there.
Yes.
Better picture, that scoreboard or the one we have from the Masters?
So here's the deal with that. Funny.
Let's wait for this. I'm going to take you off here for a second. There you go.
So
you got all
that picture, funny enough, came about. We were sitting on the right side of 18 green as you're coming up. And we were sitting there, and I looked across, and there was nobody underneath that scoreboard. And I looked at Eddie, and I was like, let's walk over there. I have an idea. And he goes, what's your idea? And I said, there's nobody over there. We can get our picture by ourselves with that scoreboard in the background. He looks at me and goes, oh, you're genius. And I will say this, that yellow scoreboard is pretty awesome. It's really
I'd say
cool.
Those are the two most iconic scoreboards.
Yeah.
I think I wish I was there on Sunday when they put up, congratulations, Scottie Scheffler, champion golfer of the year. See you at, is it Birkdale next year? I think it's Birkdale next year. See you at Birkdale. I wish I could have seen that, but I think that that scoreboard is like, they do some cool stuff with that scoreboard on 18 where they the groups that are coming up, so they'll put the group up in the bottom right hand corner of who's playing the hole and then the next group coming up. So you know who's out there, you know where their scores are, then you know who's coming up next, which is nice. So it's really cool. It's hard to compare the two, not having been there on Sunday where, you know, when you think about Augusta and the lead changes and as they put the scores up at Augusta and the roars that come with it, you don't have that. I didn't have that same scenario happen.
I feel like Dave asked you an SAT question. We're asking you which scoreboard's better.
I don't know. I really don't know.
There's two balls. One is traveling at 12 miles an hour. And one is traveling
you're overthinking this. Like, which scoreboard do you like more? You like yellow or white? Pick one.
Yeah, I don't know. They're both amazing.
I think they're both amazing for different reasons. Well, with that, I think it's time for Smack of the Week. Hey, get yourself a Bridgestone Mindset golf ball because obviously this Goddard Up is proving that these golf balls work and make a difference. Change your mindset, change your ball. Bridgestone Mindset.
This video this week needed some mindset.
Johnny! What the fuck?
Holy shit. Am I okay?
No.
Have you seen his video that he filmed after that?
No, I haven't.
So he has a follow-up video where his whole back is like scraped up. I saw the follow-up. I didn't see that. I didn't see the original one. And he got pretty messed up from that fall. But he made the funny video after that, so he is okay with that. But yeah, that's almost as bad as running your friend over in a golf cart. No one here has ever done that.
Nope.
All right, let's get into last call. God, I have to do another plug because this Cobra DS Adapt driver, game changer. Game changer. Like, I love this thing. I'm hitting the ball so much better.
In the wind at Ardglass to just hit bullets through the wind.
I was thinking about that when you were going over there. I'm like, this club is going to be perfect for link style golf.
It's perfect for any style golf.
It is, but I was like, you're going to really like it over there.
Yeah, no, it's awesome. Like, it's unbelievable. And it just goes. Like, the ball stays in the air and just, let's go.
Yeah, unless you hit it way to the right and slip and fall.
Well, yeah, I mean, that happens when you're testing it out and you're not wearing proper.
No, I meant the one, the video that Steve posted with the ball going.
Oh, yeah. Well, but with that, we are at the 3M Open this week.
Yes.
Minnesota.
Coming back to the States. So we're going to the Twin Cities.
Yes.
For the 3M Open. But, Dave, you ready for some odds?
We're ready for some odds. Interesting odds.
This really is our back-to-back shameless plugs of the episodes, because this rangefinder, just unbelievable clarity, unbelievable distance, unbelievable stabilization. Like, if you are looking for a rangefinder out there, this one is unbelievable. It doesn't have all the bells and whistles that a lot of rangefinders are trying to put on there. It does what it's supposed to do.
I'll take you where it
with your Cobra driver, get your rangefinder out, and
I'll tell you what's awesome though, with their pin locking technology and what they have in the stabilization. We've seen the picture of me at Ardglass with the wind blowing my pants that look like they want to fall off because it's blowing so hard. Literally, it locks on the target, and you don't even if you're moving and the wind's blowing you, boom, done, you get your number.
Stabilization, unbelievable.
Yeah,
you know where you should have taken it to Portrush and scoped some things out there. So
I thought about it, and I didn't want to carry it.
You didn't want to lose it. That's what it is.
Yeah,
that much Guinness and that much free time.
Yeah.
So, all right, Dave, what do we got for odds this week at the 3M Open?
3M, nice, quick 5.5 hour drive north of me, right here up in the Twin Cities. I'm not making that drive again right now, but that's a different story. Sam Burns and Chris Gotterup leading the way at 18-1. Maverick McNeely at 20, Wyndham Clark at 25. Geyserman at 28, Siwoo 35, Jake Knapp 35, Taylor Pendrith at 30, Thorn Bornson at 35, Ricky at 40, Kitayama at 40, Finau at 40, Bahia at 40, Homa at 45, Adam Scott at 45. What's that?
I was going to ask you where Max was.
Yep, at 45. Right. So,
Dave, where do we stand?
At 50. Standings right now. Greg at 159. I'm at 171, and Steve's at 191.
Ooh, hey!
This has become a tighter race.
It's a tighter race than what the beginning of the year. I took 3 cuts. I missed 3 cuts in 5 weeks, so that really hurt me right there.
You went on a
bad appreciated that. We appreciate that.
So, Steve, you were low man on the totem pole while being over there because Greg and I gave you an option, and you declined said option.
We gave you the option to choose the champion golfer of the year.
Yes.
Yep. You declined.
I still can't believe that you.
I had the option to take him, and I didn't because I thought Rory was playing well. But you don't bet against Scott.
Hey, I'm not upset. I'm not upset by my pick.
I'm not upset by my pick either.
All right.
I think we all did good.
So I took a long, hard look at Max this week. I really did, coming off of his week 2 weeks ago. And I'm going to go with Jake Knapp.
Okay. Didn't see that coming.
Played great in Scotland. I'm going off with played great in Scotland and isn't coming off of jet lag. That's what I'm going with.
Oh, very true. There's
That's
no
a
jet
good,
lag.
that's a good point there.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with the hot hand here. I'm going to go
Got
with
it.
the Rutgers alum and my fellow New Jerseyan, Chris Gotterup.
He didn't really graduate from Rutgers. He went there.
Yes, he
but
did.
didn't
He graduated from Rutgers and then went on to grad school at Oklahoma.
Yeah.
Oh, is that what it was? Okay.
Yep.
I'm
And
just
he's
thinking
born and
2
raised in
weeks
New
in a
Jersey.
row. 2 weeks in a row. I thought about that one too. I'll be honest with you. It's a good pick.
Yep. Dave?
You know, I'm not changing. I know where I wanted to go here, and it's kind of you and I talked about this last week.
Ricky.
I'm the guy with the guy that beats up lockers at Oakmont.
Oh, that was my other choice.
Boy.
Yes.
Wow, Wyndham.
I will say,
Yep.
I think Oakmont and the USGA have handled this well for what they're doing. I don't think
Yes.
Wyndham has handled this well. But
I would agree with that.
I think that I hope that they come to a better resolution down the road and he gets unbanned from there. But I think it's the right decision at the time.
Yeah, Thorn Burnson was my other pick if one of you two took Wyndham.
Wyndham was my other choice, and I was going back and forth, and I almost took Wyndham over Gotterup, but I think Gotterup's playing well right now. I think he'll continue this week, so. And it would be amazing. I think for Gotterup, I'm going to go Ryder Cup real quick. I think he is the hot hand right now. He's who you have to consider for this, as long as he doesn't have a drop off. Like if he's missing cuts or doing things like that. If he keeps get some top tens, get some makes a lot of cuts.
Me, 2 weeks does not give you a Ryder Cup spot because again, he's made the same amount of money in the last 2 weeks that he's made the rest of the year.
But what I'm saying is he has to continue this.
2 wins now on the PGA Tour. Ton of confidence coming off of this. I didn't like any of the guys coming back from Ireland this week. I just don't.
We don't like any of the guys that came back from Ireland this week on this show. So,
I mean, I ain't mad at you for that either.
Yeah.
All right. With that, everybody, let's raise a Guinness that Steve finally drinks now and understands how good these are. And welcome back. One last thing I want to say here is my father-in-law lost a dear friend this week. One of our playing partners in a scramble we play every single year. So I just want to raise a glass to a friend of ours, Cliff. We lost him this week, and hopefully I'm playing in the scramble in a few weeks here. And it was Cliff's team that I was on. So we want to win for Cliff again this year. So with that, everybody, cheers.
Cheers.
Slancha.
Really fortunate, man. I mean, have an opportunity to build something that's
And remember, folks, use code GolfingDads to get 15% off your order at Desert Fox Golf. Also use code GolfingDads to get 15% off your order at golfish.com. Use code GolfingDads to get 20% off your order at Jacket Sunscreen. And use the Golfing Dads Tavern to get 5% off your order at FlightScope.